Not being cheap. I just got off the phone with a new client doing his kickoff call, and we took a look at his core functions in his business. And it was pretty obvious based on his core functions, his financial was low, but his closing and sales was high. And he's got a decent amount of doors. And so I was like, okay, eh, they're probably not charging enough. And lifetime value also was low. So I'm like, this gentleman is not valuing himself at the level that he should. And so this is something that I see. It's really common in the industry. A lot of property managers are gearing their pricing towards the cheapest people in the market because sometimes it's because you're being cheap, and sometimes it's just because that's where you're getting the most feedback from are the cheapos, because those are the ones that you can attract through internet marketing. They're the worst. So imagine all the word of mouth business, which is the best, that's a high close rate. Well, the scraps that fall off the word of mouth table are the cheapest, most price sensitive, that view you as a commodity and are price shopping. That's what's left over. Those are the ones that are searching on Google that weren't captured through the word of mouth stage, right? So, and that's how most people are playing the game of trying to get business and acquisition, is they're fighting over in the red water with all the other property managers that are doing SEO and pay-per-click and content marketing and social media marketing and pay-per-lead services. And there's a lot of bloody red water, a lot of scarcity there. But there's this blue ocean of 70% that are self-managing, and they're not looking on Google. And they all probably need property management, right? So that's something I talk about on other scenarios. I wanted to touch on that briefly, but the idea is you need to stop being cheap in order to attract better clients. Because what happens with us when we have this price sensitivity pain within ourselves, when we are going out and telling everybody else about our pricing, we are imagining that they feel the same pain. We don't know what they're thinking or feeling. They might be like totally happy about spending money. They might be totally cool with it. But we're projecting that onto them. And so what I see a lot of times is we're cheap internally, and so then we project that onto other people, and we think, well, they probably, I'm going to tell you the price, and it's painful just giving the price out because you're perceiving they're going to take it the way you would. And it's because you probably are a cheapo. So here's something I want to share with you, is that there are three types of buyers. I call them cheapos, normals, and premiums. Three types of buyers. And they all have different levels of price sensitivity, which means premiums don't look at dollar signs and think, wow, that hurts. Oh, that's painful. I can't believe that I have to spend money to do this. Like, it's not, they don't feel as much pain. Most people, the largest group, which is about 60%, are normals. The second largest group are cheapos. And then the third, the smallest group, are premiums typically. And so one thing to realize is that this is the majority, but most people do their pricing based on this. And so most property managers are not charging enough. Also, most property managers have a pricing structure in which they basically charge more money for premium to premium buyers and on premium properties, and they charge less money on cheapos. Yet the cheapos that have the cheapest properties a lot of times have the highest operational costs for you to deal with and to manage. They're more difficult tenants, etc. So there's way less profit margin when you're dealing with cheapos. And so again, you're not charging enough if you're dealing with cheapos. Whereas premiums, there's a much better profit margin, even if you're charging less. And so your pricing should have some sort of incentive structure that incentivizes you to deal with more premiums and get more premium properties, and decentivizes more cheapos. And this means you have a much lower operational costs. So much lower operational costs, and it means you have much more profit, right? So, and we get into this in greater detail, how to make the ultimate optimized pricing structure, how to target all three types of buyers, and how to do this in our pricing secrets training for all of our clients that come into our mastermind program. But how do we get out of the cheapo stage, right? So let's just touch on that. So here I'm going to draw a pendulum, and this I call the pendulum principle. Here's the extreme: you're being way too cheap, and the other extreme would be you're charging way too much money and just not getting on any business or whatever, right? So in order to figure out where you are between these two extremes, we can draw a pendulum, and the place that you want to be would be, maybe like this, right? Maybe you're getting at least $100 a door or something like this. So this is the point of truth between any two extremes. This is the extreme um, low, and this is extreme high when it comes to pricing. So you need to figure out, where are you on this? If you are a cheapo, that means you go out into the marketplace, and when you're buying things, and you look for the cheapest stuff, or you always are looking for that discount, or you're always you waste, and what you're spending more of is you spend way more time. Whereas these people that are more premium buyers, they don't waste time. Time is more valuable to them, so they don't end up spending time. They spend money, which is smarter, because of those two currencies, time and money. Time is the one that's limited. You're going to die, right? It's your life. Whereas money is not limited. You can make more and more money. Lower level people that are at a lower level or earlier stage in their development usually are trading time for money. Property management, though, is a residual business where you don't have to trade time for money, right? You can invest as a business owner as little or as much time as you want to, and you can also build up a team and residual income and get paid really well, right? And that's the advantage of being a business owner instead of an employee who trades time for money. So you need to figure out where you are. So maybe you're this light blue line, and this is where you are in relation to this, right? And if you can recognize where you're at, and you want to attract more premium clients and be more of a premium buyer, you might want to aim for the middle, right? That's where you should be. You should respect yourself more and have better boundaries and have value yourself more, and be willing to spend a little bit more money on things, or not be so cheap, right? And that will allow you to not project, not offer too low of a price, not make sure that you value yourself, and you'll get paid more money. But when we aim for middle, what ends up happening is, because this feels uncomfortable, moving away from where we are, which this is where it feels normal, either of these are going to feel a little extreme to us. And so if you aim for this, you will probably end up only here, which means you're not hitting the true middle between being on one extreme or on the other. And so you're still left of center, and you're still off. So what you need to do, what the goal is, would be to aim for the opposite, right? This is the opposite. So you're going to aim for the opposite, and then you will actually hit middle. You're going to aim for that extreme, and it's going to feel uncomfortable because it's stretching you, but you're not actually going to be as extreme in that as you think, and you will be closer to middle. So how can you do that? Go get yourself a massage. Stop looking for the coupon code. Just pay for the thing online. Like, stop wasting time trying to be cheap. Start doing things that are a bit more premium. Buy the better, paint, or the better carpet, for example. The secret thing about cheapos is they end up spending a lot more money a lot of times in the long run, because they're doing things cheaply. They're spending a way more time, wasting way more time, which prevents them from making more money. And these cheap things that they do or buy or whatever have less quality, and then they end up having to do it over and do it again. It would be like a rental property where you use the flakiest, cheapest, crappiest paint and the cheapest, crappiest carpet, and this is a nice single family home, right? And so every year it seems to be like we need to replace this stuff because it's so horrible, right? So that would be kind of the equivalent. So cheapos generally end up spending a lot more time and a lot more money in the long run. So aim for this over here. Aim for this and if you are a cheapo, and start valuing yourself and do some things that are nice for yourself. You know, go out to the nice restaurant, get a suit, like start to treat yourself like you are high value and that you are premium. And when you start to do that, other people will start to value you and treat you that way as well, and they will pay you more money. So I hope this is helpful so that you can stop being cheap and start attracting better clients. And just to drive this story home, I once had a client and I saw him post on Facebook and he was complaining, why are there so many cheap owners and why are they always asking for discounts? And he was so frustrated. And then in our Facebook group, he posted a question: does anybody have a discount code to Property Meld? Because I don't want to pay full price. And I thought that was really funny. But that we all have blind spots, and this person had a blind spot of being a cheapo. So stop being cheap and you'll attract better clients. And I hope this is helpful for you property managers. And if this is helpful and you really like to close more deals at a higher price point more easily, targeting multiple types of buyers and get paid and create the right incentive structure, then I recommend you talk with our team and join our mastermind. This is just one of the many things we're going to optimize and clean up in your business so you make more money more easily and have a better business and are getting more freedom, more fulfillment, more contribution, and more support in your business. Bye, everyone.